Hello and welcome to a colour recording for people born in the month of December to see how April will develop for you. I'm Dr. Karen and this is Karen's Colours. For this month, I've decided on an oracle card that isn't really something that one would call an oracle. They predate the fashion for oracles. And in fact, they're blank on one side. They're actually wisdom from the elders, and I've long lost the package that came from this, but I've had this set of cards for decades. And they have some really interesting bits of wisdom for people. So I hope you enjoy those along with your colour reading. So let's get into it. Okay. And now, December. What do we have for you? We have blue on orange as the incoming energy for April. And we have purple on pink as the main energy for the month. And we have blue on green as the energy for leaving the month, and the underlying energy is red on pink. Well, we begin with what you are bringing into the month of April. It's blue over orange. Now, orange internally is always a bit of a dilemma. Orange has to do with feeling as though you have been put upon. You need to survive something. There is a challenge out there and you need to deal with it. Now, that challenge may be comfortable, it may be uncomfortable, but chances are that it is one that is uncomfortable, because orange is always a bit of an uncomfortable colour. It has to do with survival skills. And if you need to survive, it's because something has challenged you to not survive very well. But in the real world, what you have here instead is blue. Now, blue is all about order and organization and responsibility. It's about doing what has to be done. And so what we have here as this combination and what you are bringing into the month of April is a fair degree of frustration. You feel as though you've been put upon. There are too many duties, too many responsibilities, too many things that you have to do in order to keep yourself under control. And those things, keeping yourself under control, has not been particularly easy. You want to break out. You want to be free. You want to get away from the order and restriction that occurs up here, but there is no way that you can do that. You are trapped to a certain extent. What you're bringing with you, or what happens towards the middle of the month, is purple on pink. Now, pink internally is vulnerability. It's having no energy. You've run out of fight. The fight that occurred here, this feeling of I have to survive, I have to get away from whatever it is, has now turned into I can't be bothered. I haven't got the energy. I'm exhausted. In the real world, however, there is purple. Now, purple takes that blue and adds a little bit of energy into it. And what that does is give for you the opportunity to make some pretty major changes in your life. You're feeling as though you're put upon, other people are impinging upon your life. They're making you do things that you didn't particularly want to do. That's very evident back here. But now that feeling of other people telling you what to do now comes through as, well, I'm going to make my own choices. And so you find yourself literally or metaphorically spitting the dummy and starting off in your own direction. By the end of the month, we find that that duty and responsibility has returned. And it's returned because you can't get away from the things that you are responsible for. You can't completely remove yourself from any of those day-to-day jobs and tasks that need to be done because you're the person that has to do them. But in the real world, there's a fair degree of wanting to get away. Unlike the frustration that we have back here, where you need to survive, now it's just simply, okay, I've got to do this, but I would like to move on in a different direction. And in many ways, this is a very lovely combination because it allows you to look after yourself. The green internally is pretty much the opposite of the pink internally here. Whereas here you felt as though you were out of control and other people were running your life for you. Here, it's, I have my own choices to make. I know how to start off in a new direction. And in the real world, that blue on the top here, is when I start in that new direction, when I head off to those new pastures, I can look after myself. So this is a case of being very magnanimous to yourself, looking after you, because back here, other people were looking after you, but doing so in the way that suited them, not that suited you. This is suiting yourself. Underlying all of this, however, we have this continuation of the pink internally, this feeling of vulnerability, but in the real world, there is a lot of energy, a lot of passion, a lot of desire to get on with the job, move on, just have a life, live it to its fullest. This is a very interesting combination because it also has to do with falling in love and pregnancy, surprisingly enough. So there are new projects, there are new things that are happening in your life, new baby-like things that in the real world are now germinating and becoming something real, something major. You're working towards a dream of your own. In the past, it's come out of this desire to get away from restrictions. By the middle of the month, this need to become your own boss, your own person, has driven you to a state where you are taking off in a new direction and finally feeling as though you have satisfied yourself, and you're doing so because you have created a new life that you are now responsible for, but also taking care of. The red in the real world means that you are the one that is directing where that new life is going and how it is going to continue to grow. Let's have a look at the colours that are missing to see what we can do to assist this process. There's no black or white, but you do have red. There's no yellow, you have green. You have blue, there's no brown. You have orange, there's no grey. You have purple, you have pink, but there is no cyan. So these colours here, the red, green, blue, orange, purple, and pink, are all skills that you will be using throughout the month of April. And they will hold you in fairly good stead. What you are missing out on, though, is black and white and yellow and brown and grey and cyan. Perhaps not as vibrant looking as this mob over here, but nevertheless very important too. Black, for example, tells you that you could, if you wanted to, take time out to recover. You've been fairly restricted back here. This is a feeling entrapped. So allow yourself time to get over those feelings before you move on. White is about allowing yourself to have new experiences. Just allow the world to give you whatever it is that is out there for your own highest good. White often is dealing with the unknown and the uncertain, but it's also having a flash of enlightenment. Oh, I can do that. Oh, that is available to me. Yellow is all about learning and memory, and also happiness. What have you done in the past you can bring forward into the present that will enable you to be guided into the future in a way that helps you towards something good and positive and happy. Brown is about developing your own ideas, motivations, skills, the sorts of things that you want to achieve out of life. What are you aiming for? What are your ambitions? How are you working step by step towards them? Grey is all about finding that middle road between extremes. You're being pushed in one way and pulled in another way. So which way are you going to choose to move? And finally, we have Cyan. Cyan is about peace and harmony and comfort and all those things that make you feel good about yourself, but it's also about connections and relationships. How do you find the people, the connections, the way in which you develop your own intuition about things that enables you to make the right choices in the first place? So, out of these, which colours would you think are necessary for you to move forward into the rest of April in a way that enables you to make the most of these new opportunities to create life for yourself? Let's have a look at what the wisdom of the ancients, the wisdom of the elders has to say. All right, so that one jumped out. Let's see what it has to say. When you get into a tight place, never give up, for that is just the place and time that the tide will turn. You can't get into a tighter place than that. And you've been there and you've brought it with you from March now into April. But when you get into that tight place and you don't give up, that's the time that the tide will turn. Here, the tide is turning. Blue and green offers you the opportunity to create life in abundance. Will you take it up? Now, March has been an extremely difficult month for everyone across the world. There are things that have happened that are entirely out of our control, and as a result, all of our hopes and dreams are up in the air. I hope that this April reading for you has brought you some justification for the choices that you've made and for the direction in which you're planning to go. Certainly, if you remember to use the two colours, the one that is most appealing and the one that is least appealing from that list of colours that is missing from your life at present, that you find your way towards something that will give you not only relief, but also comfort as you move towards May. May April be a lot calmer, a lot better for you than March certainly turned out to be. And may the colours of your life bring you all that is necessary for your own higher good. Until next time, bye.